Yo, it's your boy AJ. I'm here with Saint and Cypher. It's Nets Kingdom. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. So we're coming off a win. The Nets end their 6-game losing streak against the. It wasn't a crazy Raptors team. I think they were down a couple players, but in other words, it was a good win, and we ended the streak. Real quick things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Claxton Clowney situation. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the game very briefly. And then we're going to get into Cypher's article with the Cam Thomas versus Mikal Bridges. A lot of controversy there. People saying on Twitter. So we're going to get into that. But first, I want to talk about the Raptors game. I really enjoyed Trendon Watford at the point guard. Really good minutes. He had 11 points in the first half. And he just put a lot of pressure going downhill. I'm ready for the full-time Trendon Watford minutes. Tonight was really a good showing. And it's just so sad that the Nets really don't. It's like we play with his minutes. Some games we'll put him in there, and some games we won't put him in there. Like I feel like he needs a good balance of minutes, but Kevin Ollie's starting to work a little bit more with him. But what do you guys think about Trendon Watford's growth and like his play this game? Y'all there?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. I mean, I've always been like positive on Watford.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of like, not a great comparison, but he kind of reminds me of Ben Simmons in terms of a point forward. You know, he could play make. He didn't have any assists tonight, but he could handle that ball.
Yeah.
He's a good rim finisher. He could shoot a little bit. His 3-point shooting has been a little streaky.
But when he does hit, he hits. Yeah, he hits. Like he was 2 for 4 tonight, but I think the for this team, like our need for a point guard is so real, and he needs to, like you said, be more downhill and think about more of the assists and getting guys involved. But tonight, I thought he was like really good.
But but let's be honest. Like, go back to what we. How do I say this? I don't think we intended when we signed him or brought him on this year to be as good as he has been. I think he's a guy that has come in and filled in during injuries and this and that. So I don't really look at as them being wishy-washy with him. I look at it as like how do you have him on the bench?
Yeah.
Still at the moments where you could really use his services, or at least his attempt, because he'll hustle. But let's also be honest, though, he does come out. Go look at some of those games. I'm sure Cypher can find a couple where he got minutes and he didn't really do shit.
Yeah.
But he's always moving. So there is a level of inconsistency a little bit with him, but I absolutely loved it. Like, I loved seeing Clowney tonight. Loved seeing Wofford. I love seeing I don't really care about watching like Dennis Smith Jr., Mikal, even Cam Thomas. Like, I don't care about watching those guys because I know what's there already. Like Cam Thomas, all them great. Awesome.
With Watford, are you willing to keep him though? Are you willing like he's on a 1 year? So like, will you willing to would you bring him back, or will just be like, yeah, you can go?
I mean, I would like to have him back. It depends on, again, like, what is the squad looking like, and can you bring him back at a decent price? Like, I have to think that some teams have seen what he can provide. Now, I don't. Yeah. That's the thing, though. The way the CBA and all this shit is going too, though.
Yeah.
I think there's a group of these guys, and he may just be one of those guys that kind of stays near the bottom, and you can kind of still get him.
Yeah,
cheap.
I think he'll be.
And I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I think another team could snatch him up if he really like.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's only 24.
Oh, he's 23? He's 23, 24. Yeah. So, I mean, he's still young. There's that. But again, like you just said, it's like if you're him, are you ignoring a same contract that you just got with the Brooklyn Nets, but it's like, say, Denver that offers it to you?
Yeah.
It should be noted that Trendon Watford is a non-bird restricted free agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting what the Nets do with him. Going on to the next point, I mean, outside of Watford tonight, I think it was a general team effort tonight. I mean, I think Schroeder was good in like big moments when we needed buckets. He was okay. Again, the Clowney minutes we saw tonight. the Clowney and Clax minutes at the same time. That 4 and 5 was really, really. I really liked that. I'm actually happy Ali did that. He played. I think he played Clowney with Dayron too at the 4 and 5. So Noah Clowney, like I just tweeted out a little clip. I'm really impressed with, again, the ability to shoot, his growth. I mean, he's 18 years old, so it's like he's not going to be the best yet, but it's like we see the potential. And like I said, I'm still worried about his foot speed defensively. He needs to work on that. He can protect the rim, and then he just got to get stronger, because I think against good teams he's going to get bullied on the in the board in the paint. So I think getting stronger and working on that foot speed, and then just working on his dribble, I think could really turn him into a good power forward. But what do you guys think about Clowney with the Clowney minutes tonight?
Dude, he looks already bigger than he did from the beginning of the season.
Yeah. He might get a little bigger. Like he has
He
potential to
looks
get
like
taller. He's only 18,
looks like he's
bro.
been working out, dude.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, he looks like, not like Claxton, where it took him 17 years to put on a pound.
17 years is hilarious.
Yeah, just to put on a pound. But no, like, I listen, I think Clowney is the one guy everybody got wrong when we drafted him.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was just like, what? Claxton replacement, all this stuff, like Claxton's twin, like whatever you want to say, dude. Like, everybody was like, what? He's a hot bag of ass. Like, I just didn't know anything about him, so I just didn't really say anything. I'm like, yeah. I think what bothered people too was when you saw with the guys we drafted, there was always like a guy one pick before or one pick after somehow that we just missed, and it was like,
I wasn't mad at when we drafted him, because I had Clowney on my draft board. He was on my draft board.
I'm not saying he just. I'm just saying he came out and laid that egg, and everybody was like, "Oh."
Yeah, he looked terrible in summer league. He looked awful.
Oh yeah, and then it took him even for a little bit, but like I think as soon as he got rolling in G League and he got comfortable, like he became somebody different. Like you saw what was going on. So I mean, I'm. That's kind of why I had my thought earlier when we were talking about the Claxton. I'm just saying, like, when you look at the development of Clowney, and if it continues, and it's like, let's be honest, his development, if you were to do this comparison, I would think he's ahead of Claxton he was when Claxton came in. Even between injuries and other shit, it's like that's part of the reason why I brought it up, where you talk about Clowney, you talk about Dayron a little bit. If you happen to lose Claxton, I don't think it'll be as bad as you think it is. But I was all for I'm all for all the young guys. Put any young guy, even that, like, whatever, Jake Gyllenhaal guy, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
That guy. I mean,
Gilliard.
yeah, like I know he didn't play well, but I'm like,
I was like, who is this? Yo, you saw that? He was like some 6-foot midget. I'm like, who is this midget back out here?
That has to be some secret, like, GM.
How did he get on the floor? I'm like,
because it has to be Sean Marks. That's like his fetish. I think all GMs have to have like one midget. They have to employ one midget.
Bro, he looks so tiny out there. I'm like, yo, this looks like Chris Chioza. Like, I was like, who is it?
He's smaller than Chioza. He's smaller than Chioza.
Wait a minute. Let's be honest though. Think about it. Think about how this guy looks. Think about how Mike James looks and how Chioza looks. Don't they all look somewhat the same? Like,
they do.
Short, light skinned, same hair. Like, I'm telling you, bro. It's Sean Marks, bro.
That's his fetish. But no, that was a good point about Clowney and I think the real difference is like they have, coming into the league, they had very similar skill sets, but something went wrong. Like, the thing with Clowney is he was a first round pick, Clax was a second round pick, and then Clax went through the injuries during like he was coming up, and then Clowney kind of like built himself in the G League. Like, they didn't change Clowney's skill set. They're kind of like encouraging him to shoot, encouraging him to be the power forward, and then you put him in the game and they're running him at the 4. So it's like they're kind of putting more emphasis on him being a power forward, and I feel like with Clax, they kind of just pushed him to be that center.
Well, I mean, listen, but that's the other thing too, though.
Yeah.
Even if we wind up keeping Claxton, right? Say it gets fixed enough where we have a different quote vision in there, different front office. Maybe it's different coaching, but it's like finally we get a coach that sees. I mean, could I see a future tandem of? Well, that's the other thing. Let's be honest. It
Yeah.
was kind of nice to see Claxton, Clowney, and Dayron all. It brought a different look. Like I felt for the first time, it was also nice to kind of be like, "Yo, we got some size out there." Like even though they're skinny little guys, or besides Dayron, they're not what I mean. It was just nice to see guys out there, like a couple guys running together that were. I don't think we get to see that often, quite honestly.
No,
So.
I agree. I love the minutes tonight because I was really intrigued. Like usually during Nets games, I'm like, oh, like this is gonna be tough without watch because Cam Thomas is like the excitement part of the Nets, and then he wasn't playing. So it's like now I'm looking and I'm like, what are you gonna do tonight? And then I saw the Claxton and Clowney minutes, and I'm like, I like this. I like them both at the floor together. Like it encourages me. Like it makes me happy. The one thing that kind of makes me happy about this season. But yeah, it was a good win. Like I said, the Raptors. It's nothing to brag about because the Raptors are missing literally like half their team. So we had to get this win. The
Yeah,
playing
no,
race.
dude, there's no bragging.
There's no bragging about
Zero,
this.
like
They're also going through a gambling scandal right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was a weird report. The gambling
well,
scandal.
okay,
Guy.
but let's talk about it though, because there was a particular player there tonight with a very interesting name, and I think my favorite quote of the night was, it happened to be, what did I send you earlier, AJ?
Oh,
my favorite thing. What did he
about-
say? He said the touch from Dick. I think
Oh my god.
there was a few of them tonight. Like Watford couldn't handle Dick inside, I think
Oh
was
my.
the other one. Did you hear that one? That one was
Yo,
something
I
like
could
that.
not. Every time we played our Raptors, I could not with the Grady Dixon.
Dude, I was dying.
Pause.
I was dying on those
His
pause. But
last
you know
name is a
what?
pause. He should just change his name to Grady Pause because it's unbelievable, bro. Like,
Nah, dude. You know what though? Hats off to that man for even doing that most recent one. I'm not even gonna say it, but you saw the photos, right? That was real. Like, I'm just saying, you got it, dude. A dude that's got that last name with that sense of humor.
yo, I'm crying.
Hats off to him, bro. Like, imagine if you grew up with that name, AJ. How would you handle
Nah,
it?
you would get made fun of crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
So
you must have
what?
got made
That's
fun
my
of.
point. Are you gonna, dude? I think at that point, then you have to lean into it. Like,
You just
you've
gotta
got to
embrace it.
take.
Yeah, just gotta embrace
I
it.
hate to say this, and it is going to be a pause, but you've just got to grab that name, and you gotta and you gotta own that shit. Okay. So, hey, hats off to Grady. He's hey,
Yeah,
all right, handled that, because I don't think many of us have been able to grow up with the last name at all.
Yeah. Now going outside the game tonight, there was a good win. Now, this is what I'll talk about real quickly. The tonight earlier today we got a report about Sham said about the Mikal Bridges, Jalen Green talk. Apparently I think we knew it, but Shams confirmed it again that Sean got a call from the Rockets about Jalen Green and some of our draft capital for Mikal Bridges, and the Nets turned it down. Nets Twitter, of course, blew up about it. I want you guys to what are your guys' opinions on, first of all, and this kind of segues into Cypher's article about the Cam Thomas versus Mikal. But Mikal's season has been really, really down, and I feel like Nets fans are turning against him. Like, shout out to Chubbs because Chubbs was texting earlier about Mikal, and Mikal hasn't helped himself really.
At all.
The
He's
Knicks
not
podcast,
at
speak
all.
about Cypher. The Knicks podcast thing, the buddy with the Josh, that's not gonna really make Nets fans love you. You're buddy with the Knicks guys, and then the poor play, and then the podcast not defending the fan base, all that. It's just not helping yourself.
But wait a minute. The defending the fan base, though.
Yeah.
Did the guy turn around and say the Nets fan base are a bunch of losers? Or he was just, because that's the one part about that thing that I kind of like. It was a bad look, and I wish the dude would have fought back more and given him more shit. But at the end of the day, people forget these are best friends that literally played. You know what I'm saying? And there's a level of razzing.
Saying I've heard that argument. So
no, it's not. But let me finish, Cypher. It's not an argument. I mean, Cypher. At the end of the day, there's always one guy in the group that doesn't have it like that, and he happens to be the guy of that. It's obvious. But it's like at the same time, though, a lot of the hate, like, yes, okay, dude has not been playing good at all. But
Yeah.
you've really got to separate some of these conversations, dude, because some of them are just dumb as shit. It's
Yeah.
like people are just saying, like, the only reason he's having a tough time right now is because he sucks. Like, it's the only reason people will say. Try to have a conversation to break
Yeah.
down what's really going on with him and
Yeah.
where he actually fits and maybe how he should used. Yeah, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, dude, like, yes, he hasn't helped himself, but he's the guy of the group that you're not going to go send to the cops if you need them to go away.
Bro,
Like,
Yeah.
the
he
reason I was
doesn't have a poker face.
yeah.
That's just not his bag. He's a nice dude. He's chill.
Yeah.
Why does he look stoned in 90% of his pictures?
The
Because
reason
he probably is.
the reason I was upset about that podcast, I'll let Cypher go after this.
Yeah.
The reason I was upset is just because like he looks so soft. Like his friends were like, "Yo, don't look at me with that sad face," and then he just like, it's like, bro,
Well,
you
even the
come on.
response from did you see the response from yesterday or from last night or today when they were
What?
asking him about Hart?
Oh,
If
what do you
you
say?
no, I can't tell you exactly what he
Yeah,
said. I saw it, but it's the same vibe.
bro,
Look
it
at
just
his
looks.
response. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, well, that's just who he is. It's just him. I know and he said he's like he just says it to rile up the fan base and the
yeah.
Nets fans and like, dude, just check his like I don't hate the dude. It just his vibe is not what some
And then
people
like
want. And
he
that's
went
what
on
to me, yeah, I
like the
don't get it.
podcast, like Josh Hart and Brunson are literally looking him in his face and like, "Yo, your crowd is ass." It was a Knicks home game
Yeah.
in the Barclays. Like what are you doing? Like the Nets are this and this and this, and then he's just sitting there like this.
I
Like
know,
I'm
and
like,
that,
"Bro,
but
what are
so
you?"
okay, and then I guess that's my question. Does
Yeah,
that piss people off more than just how he's playing?
I mean
It almost seems
that
like
made me
people are
that made
more
me
No, no,
mad
no.
at
yeah.
that
It
than
pisses me
his
off.
play.
I'm mad at both, but like that really like before that happened,
That just doesn't help the
that just made
situation.
it not lost. Like I
Yeah.
lost so much respect for him after that, bro. Like it was really a low
Well, see,
respect for
okay,
him, bro.
that's my point.
Yeah,
Did it
Look,
look
saying
nasty? Yes, but to the point where you just said you lost respect for him,
yeah.
like that's a little over the
I'm
top.
sorry, bro. It's just me
look,
because it's
saying
like as a man, like as a grown man, like and from Brooklyn, Brooklyn is grit. We're prideful. Like you can't just let somebody just walk all over you like that, low. Like it just I don't know, bro. Maybe it's just my type of like. Well,
So this guy, so the way it sounds like to some fans base,
Mhm.
like this guy doesn't have a chance in Brooklyn at all. Like nobody's
Hey,
gonna give
man.
this dude a chance, no matter who's here. Like for whatever, it's just gonna be yeah.
I'm gonna try to like root for him, but it's like, oof. But like, let me
he makes it tough. He makes it tough to root for him. Because look,
go ahead, because this goes into
I'll
Cyber's
say,
article.
let me say that because you just said earlier about the fan base is gonna run Claxton out. Well, the fan base runs everybody out because it sounds like Mikal's on the
They're running
chopping
Mikal out
block.
too. They're gonna try to
Yeah.
run Mikal out too. Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead,
I mean,
Cyber.
look, if Mikal Bridges was like just a starter on this team and that happened, I would be a little bit more indifferent. But
Yeah.
if you're going to be a face of the franchise, and look, he knows it. He knows that Sean Marks is treating him as this franchise cornerstone, whether or not it should be happening.
Yeah.
They're marketing him. He's the face of Brooklyn. He's the guy who they're building around. He's the guy who's going to attract superstars, quote unquote. You can't do that. You just can't do that and be the face of a team.
Yeah.
Just like, come on. Like I as a fan, like fans shouldn't have more pride than he does about being a Net. And look, I've seen all these arguments against why this is fine. You know, there's college buddies. Oh, he didn't ask for this. And I'm like, if Mikal Bridges doesn't want to be this franchise, just request a trade in the offseason.
Yeah.
Because I think people are right when they say we're doing Mikal a disservice by treating him like this 1A, 1B option. And I agree, like he is being miscast, but there comes a point where it's like, are you being held hostage? You just have so much power in this. You got Vaughn fired. Like Mikal Bridges was one of the reasons why they fired Vaughn.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem, but even that, dude, like saying request a trade because why? Because he doesn't fit the mark of what.
I think because
but there's a couple things though. It's like we all just agreed that the organization put that on him. We get it. We've discovered that he doesn't have the one. I will just say this: he doesn't have the 1A attitude that we all want him to have. right? Like even if he wasn't 1A material basketball wise, but if he had that attitude, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like you can't tell me there's something else going on. You can't tell me all season that this coaching staff and this front office is destroying all these players' careers and look at what happens. And then we just started this thing out saying, oh, hey, yeah, like we have to study why certain players come to the Nets and then they suck and then they go somewhere else and they get better. It's like it falls back into that category where it's like we're making 100%, trying to make 100% judgments of players and situations this season when just about every nasty thing that could happen, JV coaching to another coaching change I mean, all this stuff, and we're going to sit here and already be like, we know exactly how this situation, just move them, get rid of them. Now, if we want to talk about the offering them for the Rockets thing, yeah, I don't. That's a no-brainer to me. To
it's a
make
no-brainer. I
like
think
it's
that
a
everybody is a
no-brainer.
no-brainer.
But I'm
They
just
should
saying,
have.
like, I just think he's going to if he sticks around and we do get the right people in charge. I don't. I think people are going to wind up
I wouldn't.
like
Like me, I
liking him
wouldn't have a
and laying
problem.
off
Yeah,
him
I wouldn't have a
because there
problem if he
still
was
is
like,
a lot to.
if we had a star and a 1A and Mikal was the third guy, I wouldn't even look at I wouldn't even be worried about it. I would be fine. But it's just the fact that
And I don't know if we're gonna. That's the problem, though.
Yeah.
That's the big gamble. You just said it. We're
The thing
going
is,
into the off season waiting for Sean Marks to get us a 1A.
Yeah.
What the fuck if that doesn't happen?
Yeah.
I hate his I just hate his mentality.
Right?
Like he has a good mentality, like Mikal Bridges, in terms of like life. Like I think he's got a good head on his shoulders, and I think like
he's a good guy.
He's an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
But in terms of basketball, man, you can't be that soft. You just can't be that soft. Like we've seen with Ben Simmons. Like Ben Simmons has all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
But his mentality towards the game is just.
And this is New York City, bro. Like you understand, this is one of the toughest cities in the world. Like New Yorkers can smell the softness when you walk in the room.
Well,
it's one of those type of cities,
you
boy.
You gotta blame
the GM. Yeah, I know.
And I do blame the GM.
Who brought all the soft players here?
Yeah, Mikal was put in a bad place because first of all, Sean brought him here. And then now you're telling the people you want to build around him, and you're telling fans you want to build around him. You were offered our picks back, our future backs. Well, we don't know exactly what it was, but you could have finessed and kind of spot a deal. Could have got Jalen Green.
I guess what I was trying to say earlier, though, was there still is a lot of value in Mikal Bridges. And I still think him being here, if he does stick around, because I just can't imagine they're going to trade him. But if he does, like I can't imagine if you do get like the right coach, the right setup. Say you get lucky, I mean, because I mean, let's be honest. If Sean Marks is here, it's like, and we get lucky and get the right player, then I think he'll fit right in, and it'll be great. But if you do go into this next season and we don't find that play, because everybody said it today. It's the weirdest thing. I was gotten into discussion with somebody, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do another thing, and I'm not going to do another tear down and this and that. I'm not, and I'm just like, bro, like we're kind of in one right now. And he goes, no, we're closer to the 4 seed than we are to a rebuild. And I was like, what?
Wait, what?
Like what? Like what?
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just was like, but I got it to the point of it was like, even at the, and I wanted him to say it because at the end of the conversation, he says it where it's just like, oh, well, I don't know who they're going to go for. But it sure seems like they know somebody that they want. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't feel after the season and things that we've been watching, you're basically asking me to just put 100% blind faith in Sean Marks again, just finding the guy. But it's like you're arguing with people that view it that way. And it's like,
yeah.
Oh, Shane, I think I know exactly who you're talking to because I think he responded.
It's not even so much about who it is. It's but he said something that other people echo. And it's like that. It's like the people that don't want to do a rebuild. It's like, what the dude? We're kind of in one right now. There's nobody that's like, you know what I'm saying?
People think we're in a retool because I guess the Nets have put it out there that we're star hunting. They're literally telling people we're star hunting. So that's why people think like this team still has like some type of worth potential to I don't know, make it to the 5th seed or 5 seed. But it's like look at the East standings right now. We're the 11th seed, and we're 28, 20. We're probably like 4 or 5 games behind the Hawks.
Yeah.
No, so it's like we've been on a 6-game losing streak. We just won tonight against a terrible team with the Raptors. I'm not sure about what our schedule is coming up, but if we're playing good teams, I don't see us even making a play-in. So it's like, what faith do you have in this front office that you're saying that we're 1 star away or we're gonna be getting a star in the offseason? Like you look at Sean Marks' history, like I know he's not really the trade for us. He trades for stars, but it's like he's one of those sit on your hand GMs. Like he waits for it. He's not a
I
proactive
wonder.
GM, in my opinion.
I wonder how much they view that is either
Yeah.
because they feel like they have an inside track on something,
Yeah.
or are they just still feeling themselves thinking, well, dude, I signed Katie and Kyrie, and I traded for James Harden. Pass me my caviar, please.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we
like
got
I,
KD, or this is New York City. Everybody wants to
yeah,
get,
like
like,
is
it's like, I don't
or
know.
has the Sean Marks bubble burst?
Yeah. I'm hoping. Shoot, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Sean Marks. I mean, I hope Donovan, when she called Sean Marks, was like, "Listen, like, if we go in the first round, call me right now. I'll do the trade." Like, I'm thinking, like, is that why Sean is so confident? Did he get a call from somebody to say, "Yo, if we lose, trade for me right now"? Like,
Because see, that's the thing though.
yeah,
If you're telling us, and I gotta ask Cypher this, like,
yeah,
if you're telling me to star hunt, who's the most realistic guy this offseason? And it's like even Mitch, like we all know he wants to be in New York.
yeah.
So there's that, but it's like even if you got even if they were winded up getting DeJounte Murray or like who's really out there?
Nobody, not really anybody outside of
Russ.
DeJounte and Donovan. Safe. I don't know.
I
You can
mean,
think about
you
anyone else.
might have a one or two people that surprise you, but
There is the Carl Anthony Towns
Cypher,
thing,
that's what I'm
but
asking you. Like, dude, who are you seeing out there that's really gonna like make this grand plan of theirs work?
Man, it just aside from Donovan Mitchell, no one.
I mean,
No,
could you
no one.
come up with? Listen, I know there's a ton of people that could come up with a creative idea for something.
Okay, I
There's
guess.
plenty of those.
the Carl Anthony Towns thing, that was a rumor, and he's from around here,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Do we have the assets for Carl Anthony Towns? I don't
I mean,
know if we do.
the Timberwolves were so good when he was playing. Even if they have like a playoff collapse,
I
like
don't see them trading him.
I don't
I
see
think
them
they'll
trading
trade Gobert before they trade Towns.
yeah.
They
But
wouldn't
see,
trade,
and that's the other part that I have an issue with too a little bit is okay, say we're star hunting and then we're trying to figure out like okay, just for conversation's sake, the level is Donovan Mitchell, right?
I think
Is
Luka.
Donovan Mitchell gonna be much? I don't think Luka's
I'm trying to.
not
Okay,
this
so
season, not
realistically,
this season, but
I don't
Luka
think
stay.
realistically at all. But
yeah.
if
How
you want
did
me
you
to come
just
up,
throw Luka in there when I'm talking about
no,
like Mitchell?
You said
How do
stars,
you
bro.
make that
creative.
leap,
You said
Cypher?
stars, bro.
Oh no, you asked for a creative answer. I mean,
No, I
I
said
think
no. I said
theoretically.
realistically.
Well, no.
I
Oh,
said
there is no
It's
way.
realistic, bro. We
Yeah.
about to get Luka, bro.
Theoretically, okay. There's a scenario where if the Mavs just straight up miss the playoffs,
Yeah.
maybe they'll shop Luka, but it would cost like top dollar.
Oh my
Like,
God,
Oh,
Luka.
Yeah.
there's no way they're even entertaining the idea of shopping Luka.
Luka would have to
I
request.
you would have to request a trade.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, if you were being creative, yes, okay, that's a creative. But yeah, but you get my point, and I'm not saying we should advocate for complete destruction either, 100%. But you're already kind of there. And I think if they just leaned into a couple players, I quite honestly, I think you go into this offseason, and if you think it's about to be a fucking shit show and you're not going to be able to get shit and you're about to put the same fucking team out there, nah, bro, you better start selling.
Yeah.
You
We're
better
in-
just cash in, get some picks, get some, because if you tried to run this team out there, I don't even care who's on it. You try to, nah.
Yeah, we're in basketball purgatory right now, and it's like I just want the Nets this season to just go fully into the rebuild. Like, forget this retools, because every time I see a report like we're building around Mikal and we're star hunting, I'm looking at like the Nets like, what stars are you guys talking about?
But I think the narrative is starting to change from build around Mikal to more like build around this group.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what stars are you guys willing to like? What stars are calling? What stars are you hunting for? Because I'm looking at the league and I'm like, outside of DeJounte and outside of Donovan Mitchell, I don't see anybody realistically that the Nets could really like go for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you're telling me that you're gonna sign Claxton, right? Like both sides are talking like they want a reunion. So if you're telling me, then that's fine. You've already got everybody else locked up big wise that you want.
Yeah.
I think some of these wing guys are going to come back, one or two of them.
But all the 1-year deals, out of all the 1-year deals, Dennis is going to be here. Mikal, CJ, Clax.
Did Dennis get 2-year or one?
Dennis got 2.
Oh, he got one.
Did he get 1 or 2?
He has one more year left. After this year, he has one more. And
I thought he got 1.
Schroeder? Oh, sorry. Wait, Smith Jr. or Schroeder?
Schroeder.
Oh, yeah, no, he's got one more year. He's got one more year.
Yeah, but you never know. Schroeder, if there's a
Dennis is gone after Dennis Smith Jr. is gone after this year.
Yeah.
Yes. But the good thing about Schroeder's contract too, though, easily fit into any kind of trade if you're trying to make it. I will give, if I'm giving any credit to Sean a little bit, outside of Day'Ron Sharpe, I mean, Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
None of these contracts are terrible, dude.
Yeah.
They really are.
It's like I said, it's a good thing that
like they're all movable, easy.
All these guys literally off the books. Like all these 1-year deals are gonna be off the books, and you're gonna have to like start from the beginning again. But it's like the core. Like me personally, I'm ready for the rebuild. Like I'm ready for just the young kids and get our picks. And
I agree with
let me
AJ.
play the kids. Like I'm ready for the rebuild.
I don't. No. I will say this because I just had this thought, and I hope this is where what happens to him. But they're obviously inching to see what happens. But the real story is not going to be this offseason. It's going to be the next offseason for the Nets, because I just don't see anybody massively coming in and swooping, and it's a big question mark, and it's a big gamble. You're not guaranteed to get anything better next season. You could probably throw out the same type of team you had this year with the same quality of players, and you're just going to go back to hoping that things work out and just keep developing. But what I'm hoping is that if they try their best and maybe they can shake somebody here from a trade, a young guy, or maybe a disgruntled start, whatever. But if the next season you're going into that off season, you should be winding up trying to get anybody, like get rid, like there should be no delusion of like who should be on your team anymore. Like you could literally trade 3 or 4 of those guys on that team and get a ton of picks. Like there's no reason to sit in purgatory.
Saint, here's the one issue with that. Mikal Bridges is only after this season. He's got 2 years left.
So what? You're telling me you're talking like he's 35 years old.
No, but here's the thing.
But how much is his contract though?
It's not much, but here's the thing. If he's on an expiring deal, like that's less value in a trade.
I'm not talking about like trading him on an expiring deal, but I'm just saying you can't tell me that barring no injuries, if Mikal stays the same, about average, I just think this is a shit year. I think he's going to play better next year, wherever he is, here or there. Like, his value is really not going to go down in that much, in my opinion.
Do you see it?
Because somebody he can bring to a team, his age, and the fact that his contract is as cheap as it is.
But it won't be cheap forever.
I just think the reason Sean is hurting his value because like at the deadline, the Rockets offered that, right? No, but then we go through the season, Mikal has been playing really, really, really bad. So it's like when you think about when Mikal first got traded to us, his value was crazy high.
Yeah, but but guess deadline, what? When they offered Green, Green's value was trash.
That's
so.
I mean,
I'm just fair. I'm saying is the type of players we're talking about change like a fart in the wind. Like 1 second it's cool, the next thing they're going to be hot, next thing they're not. Like he's a young guy. He's already shown you that he can fit in with superstars and play right along and get no hate, no nothing, and just do what he's got to do. When that guy can just do that and doesn't have his pressure all over him, he's a wonderful guy to have your team. And a championship team that maybe has some money or a team that's almost right there, like he's easily gonna, whether it's this year, next year, guarantee you people are gonna offer. Yes, will certain times give you more value? Of course. I'm just saying that even if it, by
No, I
worst
still
case
he'll still get
scenario,
offers. I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
I feel
They
like the
won't be as
longer
high
Sean
if he's
keeps him,
expiring.
the longer Sean keeps him, it's just like he's got to get his value because like this past from All-Star break to now the end of the season, it's like he's been like it's been
you could
bad.
say that about every player. Every player
So like,
they've
and
devalued.
if you're an NBA GM, are you looking at Mikal like, yo, I'm gonna offer you 2 first rounds? Or it started at, what was it, at 4 during when he got traded to us? It was like
It
4
was
first
4.
round.
Yeah.
Now it's
Well,
like, I
okay,
think it's like
but
2.
do you take all of those reports? Because even today's report, perfect example. I talked to Scotto about it personally,
Yeah.
clarified things with him when it all, because even then, like I saw that somebody was putting out there that they offered Sengun. Somebody was like Jalen Green and all our picks. Some were saying it's just a couple of our picks. Like there was another player. Like, do we even honestly know how, like, the right,
I don't know what Mikal's value is, to be honest, right now.
like,
But
that's all I'm asking. Like, I'm just saying, we know there was a handful of picks at best.
oh yeah,
But
yeah.
at what years, I don't know.
I just
I mean,
feel like, go ahead,
it's
Seth.
just
Go ahead,
so
Seth.
crazy because when you're getting offers like this for a player of Mikal's caliber, 99.9% of teams would just take it. And the fact that Sean isn't taking it, it just
It's a little weird. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Like I
Yeah.
really
Well,
don't.
I mean, again, but that's why I'm not like, I think at the time.
Mhm.
Well, let me ask you this: when was that offered again? Did you say when?
Which one? Which
Which one?
offer?
The first time?
The Grizzlies?
As soon as he got traded here, it was the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the
Well,
4
Grizzlies.
first
but
round.
okay, so but again,
Hmm.
we weren't looking at Macau and talking about Macau like we are now.
I mean,
Okay,
you think
so you
about it,
can
he was coming off
understand a team.
he was cooking
Yeah,
on the
but you
Suns, bro.
can't.
Like, he was
Yeah,
going
but
crazy on the Suns in
yeah,
2020.
and you can't tell me that, like, you're gonna fault the GM that just got a guy that nobody was shitting on. Even the fan base wasn't shitting on him. Nobody was shitting on him. And then you're gonna turn around and now, like, we can't give them shit for passing up then.
Oh no, I can. Because
But
I said they
well,
should trade him.
dude, I see, but that's the problem. I mean,
Mhm.
Cypher, you kind of put yourself in one of those things where it's like you kind of give. There's no, you have no leeway with him at all. It seems like,
Because
because you've said literally
yeah,
everything has been unacceptable to you. His, like, how he talks, how he acts, like, and that's the problem I have with some people. And I'm not. I love you, Cypher, but
yeah.
and I'm just saying that, like, that's literally what everybody's like. Oh, I hate everybody. It's like they hate everything about him. Like, what?
Because what's happening with Mikal Bridges right now is unprecedented.
Okay,
No
but
GM would
but
ever
again,
no
how
GM would
much is
ever do
that
this.
him? But how much is that his fault or the GM's fault?
Here's the thing: though, at what point do we hold him responsible? Because
Yeah,
I think most of
and
it is Sean
again, but
Marks.
how many times? And this is the other thing. I swear, and I'm not saying you, but it's, I almost feel like some fans never see players go through bad stretches in basketball. Like, I don't think it's like everybody has to be perfect. Like, go talk to some of the greatest players in the world, and they'll tell you about some of their shittiest stretches as basketball players.
Saying
And
this isn't a bad two
so
weeks.
okay,
It's
so
been a while.
no, it's been one season. One partial season where the dude's been injured. We weren't talking
I like
about
this
him like this
pushback.
last
I like
season.
say, dude. I like this. I like this
We
pushback.
weren't talking
Say this
about him
defending.
like when he was on Phoenix. Okay, I'm just saying the whole
Mhm.
narrative now that he sucks, he's never going to change, and this one season defines his whole career is part of what is wrong with basketball discourse today,
I'm,
especially in social media.
But
I,
saying if the media didn't treat okay, look, and this goes back to my article that I
mhm.
wrote.
Yeah.
If okay, Mikal Bridges this year, everything fans have killed Cam Thomas for the media, the fan base.
Oh, see, here it goes. Can we
It's true.
talk about
Let
Macau
him
without
finish.
It's true.
talking
Let's
about?
No,
All right.
it's true.
Let's finish.
No, look,
All
saying
right, go for it. Go for it.
when you could say this isn't fair, you could say it's immature, but regardless, when you hold a player to that standard, can't play, doesn't play defense, doesn't pass well, inefficient shooting, shouldn't be able to play. No, he doesn't smile. All this nonsense. people are going to hold Mikal Bridges, to the same standard.
That's
and look,
fair.
you could say that's not fair. You could say
No,
it's
that's-
not
I
fair
say
at all
it's-
because it wasn't fair when they're holding Cam to that standard.
Mm.
But when fans held him to that standard just so vehemently, they're going to do the same thing with Mikal. Like, think about it. Okay, think about
I
all the
get that.
40-point games that for all those 40-point games Cam Thomas had, and then for Vaughn to go to the media and say, "Yeah, he had 40, but he lost the game." Like, okay, now you just raised the bar to 40 points.
Okay, so
but you
again,
gotta
I
win.
ask you, was that Mikal's doing or was it JV's doing, like you just said, or Sean Marks?
No,
Listen,
I'm not saying it's logical.
I'm all for,
I'm not
but
saying it's
listen.
logical.
I'm just respect. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. But so then you're saying you're basically okay with just hating on a dude illogically is basically what you're just saying then. So my point being though is if we keep pointing to, well, we'll say Sean Marks, or we'll say the team did this, or we'll say JV did this, right? Like you just, and I have 100% with you on the looking at Cam Thomas and going like how they've treated him and compare, and like, and it's not even about Mikal. Mikal's just the new name to attach to it for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll say the extreme Cam fans.
Yeah.
Because you guys were saying the same thing with Patty Mills. You were saying the same thing with Seth Curry. You were saying the same thing with, so it's not the player. It's what the fucking organization and the coaching staff are doing.
But there's a
But we're
difference
gonna,
between Mikal. There's a difference between
but so
Mikal,
you're
Patty, and
basically gonna put that on Mikal then.
No, I'm
Even
not
though
putting.
we've
No, no,
been
no. I'm not.
watching
No,
the
no. I'm not putting.
organization,
I'm not putting it all on Mikal. Look, I'll
all
agree. I have not been fair to Mikal Bridges that much. But when you're okay, he got Bond fired. Like it's not like he's trapped. It's not okay. I don't. Maybe he is. Maybe
well, I
Sean
think
Marks
I
is this
thought if you're
dictator.
telling Mikal got him fired, then we should be loving Mikal.
But he has. Here's the he got. I believe that he contributed. Like he was a big factor.
Well, he would. He did. Of course, he
Oh,
did.
I
Yeah.
think the whole team. I mean, dude, by the time that he got fired, Mikal's body language, his interviews at the end, even Cam Thomas's body language in interviews were bad. Oh yeah, that was a collective thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you could say he got him fired. I mean, that was an obvious thing to me.
Yeah.
But from Sean Marks' perspective, okay, if Cam Thomas went to Sean Marks and said, "Hey, fire him," versus if Mikal Bridges went to Sean Marks and said, "Fire him," like who has more weight?
Can we why are we still doing that though?
But
Why are we
I
pitting
say
Cam Thomas versus Mikal? I don't get this.
I just said Cam Thomas. Okay,
it's because I think it's the fan. He's not. It's not just Sype. It's the fan bases because the fan base have seen that the fans, the organization, shitted on Cam Thomas. Like they didn't really.
Before Mikal got here.
Yes, they shitted on
Yeah.
Cam Thomas. So it's like
Okay.
now that Mikal has come in, it's like
Yeah.
Mikal has been the golden child of the Brooklyn franchise. He's the franchise star player, and we're watching him have a terrible season. Players are
Again,
out.
is
Cam
that
Thomas is out playing
Mikal's
him.
fault?
Other players are not playing him. He's been terrible. So now the fan base is kind of like attacking him. They're like, "Yo, why are you shitting on?"
Oh yeah,
Cam
they're picking him
Thomas?
apart
They're
for
not shitting.
every
Yeah.
little thing. They're picking up his personality. They're picking everything apart. So again, I ask you,
I'm saying if you
who
want
put
fans to
on
love
them?
Mikal, bro, like he's got to start play. He's got to play better first. That's the first thing. Forget the Knicks podcast and all that. I know he shouldn't have done that. I mean, I don't think he shouldn't have put that out. But you got to play better first of all, and then the Knicks thing. You don't understand how hatred the Nets Knicks thing has been, bro. That's not like him being so friendly with the Knicks. It's like this is Brooklyn, bro. Like that hatred
Okay,
runs
but
deep
you know
with the
what
Knicks,
though?
bro. So
That second one, I
yeah.
get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but to me, the only
So
one that really
can you fault
matters
people for
is
hating
just
him for that? Can you fault people for hating?
yeah. Well, I think listen,
Especially
I
Nets
get
fans.
sports takes, but
Yeah.
I guess and the good thing about Cypher's article, which is good by the way,
Yeah,
that I
pleasure.
like that highlights is it also highlights that there's so many different reasons why people have a reason for disliking Mikal Bridges.
Yep.
Because I as much as I love you, Cypher, you are a Cam stan, and you have some attachment with every argument usually comes with that Cam part. So there's that one side. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying there's that one side that just uses it as a barometer, and you just said it to judge Cam Thomas, and it gets fans pissed off. Then we've talked about things that the organization, coaching, Sean Marks, all have done to put shit on there. Okay, can't put that on I'm not going to blame the player for that. However, dude does not have the Brooklyn, and this is the other thing too, bro. And this is why it's like, I get what you're talking about, AJ, but at the same time, it's like, if dude happens to figure out his basketball side of this and everything works out with Mikal and we're no longer complaining about him and he fits in with a new team and we do have a star and whatever, right? Like,
it's a very low chance, but I'll stick with you on that. I'll stick with you.
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, even if he does that and he fits right in, but he's just not your New York personality guy that you want him to be. But he still does everything else what he's supposed to. He goes back to being the Mikal we kind of expected prior to the season.
The third guy? If he's a third guy, I'm fine.
Yeah,
if he's the third guy, I'm fine. If he's the third guy, I don't care. But the thing is, we're making him the franchise player. That's where it's wrong.
Okay, bro. But he's not making. That's my point. He's not making himself the franchise player, though.
You're right.
But he
didn't sign a contract. No. But see, bullshit. Time out. I'm going to do it again, and then I'll shut up. And I know people hate me for it in the comments, but whatever. We didn't sign him to that contract. Okay, so there is some part of this where it's like he didn't ask to be here either, though, right? And the one thing I will agree with that you said earlier is if there is any trepidation in, if that's the right word, or in his mind where he's like, I don't know if I want to be here. I want to know this offseason like very quickly.
Yeah.
Because if like you are going to be part of the future and you are going to be that second, third, fourth guy, whatever people want to place you, and like, I got to know that you want to be here because I am tired of dealing with players that are uncomfortable being here. Now, I won't hate on you for not wanting to be here because I'm watching what you are dealing with. Yeah. But that's the one thing you cannot afford. I don't know, dude. I think
his body language doesn't seem like it. Just doesn't seem like it. But hey,
look, dude,
I don't want to.
If you were losing like they've been losing this season or had the season, and then you're gonna. I always hate that when it's at its worst. Somebody's like, "Do you still want to be here?" It's like, how honest of an answer are you gonna get from that? So I don't know. I don't know if he wants to be here. I just, dude, but let me ask you both this. Do you think he's getting any unfair hate?
Yes, I do. I think people do. Well, I think a lot of it is like when you attack Mikal personally, I think that's a little too far. Like, don't attack, but the poor play, I totally am cool with people criticizing the poor play because that's what it is. Like, you're going to play bad, you're going to get shitted on.
Yeah.
The second thing
although you
Knicks,
can't say,
the Knicks podcast thing, you're gonna trigger Nets fans, and I'm me personally, I haven't like shot at Mikal or been so terrible. Like, I'm not really like, I told you, I just lost respect for him. I'm gonna keep it what it is because of what he did, like with the Knicks. Because coming from, if you're a real Nets fan, if you're really from New York City, like you understand the hatred between the Nets and the Knicks, and you're gonna trigger fans, bro. You're gonna really trigger people. Like,
I guess it depends on if you take that part of fandoms like seriously or
so you just gotta that part. I think you just had to.
And that's it. But that's the thing. I can't hate on you for that because like I don't like that shit's never really. I never really gave a shit about that stuff growing up as far as like fandom. But I get it for you that and it could be in that area.
A lot of fans, bro. I'm telling you,
there's a lot of Brooklyn pride, so I get that. Like I can't.
It's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Like, and then those are the two criticisms I have, like that people can come at him for. But the other stuff, I think the organization just put him in a bad place, and like it's just really
okay. So you said the important part. Then my question for you is, if the then both of you, if Joe, let's just say Sean Marks is gone. And that is out of there. A good GM comes in. We all get it acceptable. Like, is there like, do you think he's going to improve and this is why I just said, I can't just have the conversation. Oh, he just sucks. Like, so you, Cypher, you think you're not going to see any more and he's not going to get any better than he is right now?
Oh no, I don't think he's going to be a star. I don't think he's going to turn into that.
No. That's not the question, though. Because earlier you said, we've seen enough. This is who he is. He's not going to get any better, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't say that.
I'm asking you.
I didn't say that, Saint.
You did earlier. You said about, like, because when I brought up the hot bag of ass thing, you're like, well, he's
How bad
He is. You did say that. You
No, I
did
didn't.
kind of
No,
agree
I was
with
saying,
me.
no,
All
no, I was
right,
saying,
maybe
you were
I
saying, no, no,
maybe I misheard you then.
you were saying a bad stretch, and I'm like saying this has been a very long bad stretch.
No,
That's all I'm
you
saying.
were alluding, and I said I said it hasn't even been a full season, like a season. So
Oh,
70
okay,
games.
so then okay, well
No,
then
no,
if you agree
no.
with
Okay,
that,
this season he has
so
been bad.
you're saying last season was ass too?
No, no, he was good last season.
yeah, he was good last
Okay,
year.
But this
so we're
season,
just
this entire
so
season, he has undeniably been bad.
yes, and then
Saying,
but
has
I
he been good?
also
Saying,
you
do you
were
think he's been
arguing
playing
them
well?
from that. Okay, but then hear me out. That's the reason why I'm asking this is because you said that, and I said, well, what do you mean? Like, is he just not going to get better?
I think under different circumstances, he could go back to the type of player he was in Phoenix.
I
But
don't
we
think
got to
that
create
happens
those
though, unless we
circumstances.
get a star. I don't
Well,
think he
that's
goes
my
back.
point. Like, so
Yeah,
you don't think that's the point. This is the point I'm trying to get at. Do you
yeah.
guys think that he is not going to
He's not going to flourish
return
unless
unless
we have a
he?
star. Yes, I think
Well,
he's not going to.
what if
He's
we
going to
had
stay
a
the same unless
better?
we get a star.
What if we had a legit point guard though all season?
He will
Define
get better.
legit.
He'll get
Well,
better.
Well,
define
okay, but
legit.
let me ask you this: say we had Ben Simmons fully healthy all season,
He
right?
would be
And
better.
did
He'll be
He would
better.
be better.
okay. So I guess my thing is too is like I I think there is a part of him, but he desperately needs whatever it is, whether it's a star or an actual point guard, he desperately needs somebody to set him up.
Yeah.
Like there's no debate on that.
Yeah.
And I think depending on what you give him to set him up is going to be your deciding factor of what you get out of him.
That's fair. Let me make sure you guys hit that like button. This has been a this has been a good pod. This was a great pod, man.
Here's one
Oh,
thing
and
I
I
want to say.
listen, and these are my opinions. I don't like. I will continue to love and talk about this. I love Cypher and all that. And
I got a great title for this video
yeah.
too. Now, like now that y'all
What is it?
You'll see. You'll see. Make sure you guys hit
Old
that
man
like
versus
button.
young, or you're gonna be like
No,
you're like Cypher
it's gonna be about
school
Mikal.
saint.
It's gonna be about Mikal.
No.
Make sure you hit that like button.
I want to say though about.
Oh, go ahead, Cypher. Go ahead, Cypher.
Okay, look, I think saying you made a lot of fair points.
Mhm.
And look, I got into a bad habit with dissing Mikal, and I've been trying to like ease off it because I do realize it is illogical, and I do blame Sean Marks for most of it.
Yeah.
However, this offseason, Mikal Bridges needs to make a choice. Either he is ready to embrace whatever unrealistic expectations Sean Marks has for him, or he needs to check Sean Marks if he's still the GM, and needs to say, hey, this vision you have for me isn't real. And
Yeah,
you need to either send me to another team or you need to get someone better than me. If neither of those things happen, I am all the hate that he is getting right now. I do agree it is undeserved, but if nothing changes this offseason and he doesn't take matters into his own hands, then I think all the criticisms that he is going to get is going to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's my whole point of why I ask questions. People like look at it as like saying that I'm defending or I'm kissing his ass or I hate. No,
that's what they're gonna say in the comments, bro. They're gonna be like,
"Oh, I don't give a shit." But but listen, dude, as long as you've known me, have I not asked questions like this about every player we shit on?
No, that's fair.
The only reason why I ask these questions is because I feel like sometimes the conversation gets away from what it really should be like when we break it down, it's like some people are mad at Cam because of how I mean, some people are mad at him because of how Cam was treated. Some people are mad because of the coach. Like, there's so many different reasons why people are pissed off. And at the end of the day, it's like, dude is not playing good for whatever reason. We've all agreed that the makeup of the team is ass. We've all agreed that the coaching's been ass most of the season, if not all. And you've had another coaching. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like you list all these reasons of why this team sucks ass, but we want to go in on full, deep, 100%. No, this is it of why Mikal Bridges is having the season he is. And I just don't think it's fair. I think it's fucking stupid. It's not you, but it's just like to go that far on a dude of having a shitty season that's not set up good for him. Like, it just, it sucks.
What about Clax? Are you gonna defend Clax?
Dude, Clax has had plenty of time to put in his work. Claxton's still got
so,
it.
so Mikal is in it, but
Claxton's still
Claxton,
got it. Listen,
Claxton go.
listen.
Oh,
Claxton,
you
no,
can
I
defend
didn't
Mikal, but
say
not
Claxton can go.
Oh, okay. I'm about
But
to
see,
say.
that's the thing, though. I haven't shit on Claxton like everybody
Okay,
has.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm not asking him to be traded. I said at the beginning of your show, I hope he stays here.
All
But
right,
at the
cool.
same time, if you're asking me to get look at the future of the Nets and potentially what they're going to do, if you say Claxton leaves and I'm looking at Clowney and Sharp, I'm not going to cry that hard.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That has nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I want dude here, but
That's fair.
there's
those are the two
nobody on
guys
this team.
in the fan base that get the most like those are the guys that get the crazy hate. Like,
See, I don't know. Maybe I don't see the Claxton one. I
What?
don't.
People
I
are like,
hear that,
oh,
but I hear the same
Claxton
people
gets a
in
lot of
spaces though.
hate.
I just sent you the.
but
I sent you the tweet. There's a
I
guy
know,
who
but
just
I'm
told
not.
Claxton's
That's
dad
the
that he's
first.
soft. He told
That's the first
Claxton's
time.
dad that Claxton's soft.
Yeah, that's fine. You can say whatever you want, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not on Twitter looking at all these tweets about Claxton like you guys.
Oh, okay. Nah.
I'm not. I'm just not. Like, I don't like
That's fair.
Twitter. I will say, since Elon took Twitter over, it is so disgusting, dude. I can't even get on.
Yeah,
It is kind of
Until it's like Nets time, or like, oh, you know, the section where I used to like the For You and
before
like
you.
whatever.
Yeah,
I don't even look at that anymore.
it's terrible. It is.
It's
like you'll
so
see tweets that
bad,
you're not
dude.
even following people.
I
It's
literally
hilarious.
can wake up, watch high schoolers beat each other up. I can watch a war. I can watch all kinds of racist shit. Like, dude, do you know what I'm saying? And that's from
Yeah.
like one swipe on your scroll.
Twitter is kind of nasty.
I'm just saying, listen, dude. I love Clax. I've always kind of been like not as crazy about him as you are. You think, I don't know. Just he's not that special to me, but I do like him and I hope he sticks around. But I'm just saying, dude, I'm not even judging Claxton that hard this year. I'm not judging Mikal. I'm not judging Cam Thomas. I'm just not judging these dudes like people are. I guess ultimately it comes down, you can hate on me and say whatever you want. I'm a homer for this guy or I'm a stand for that guy or I always post bail, but I've been saying it. Dude, there's no reason to shit on some of these players this year when you can list so many other things that are wrong with this team.
Yeah.
I think fans are just mad.
Yeah, they are.
Sean Mark. Okay, the whole thing. Josiah broke the rules regarding Sean Marks because at some point, when people get mad when you break the rules, because name to me the GMs that would still have a job.
Yeah.
And we're still questioning whether or not Sean Marks will be fired. And to me, that just, when you see him and after all he's done, how many years he's had, how many failures he's had, and people still, there's contacts, of course, and he's made good decisions in the past, but the fact that he's still here and he's still able to run the ship, it's just gonna make everyone go crazy.
Yeah.
I think you said it best when you said the fact that you're even, as a fan, you're even questioning the idea that whether he's going to be fired or not is all you have to say.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, dude. That's the thing that makes this even more uncomfortable, and which is why I think a lot of the people are really shitting all over players just in general, is because everybody has a great idea what they should do to fix the team or which way it's going to go. But if we're all honest, we're all just sitting here waiting, wondering who's going to be the person to put the Nets back together. Is it going to be Sean Marks and get more of the same shit and hope on a prayer? Or are we actually going to start getting a real basketball GM that can see what we have and actually make legit decisions? Yeah, because at this point, I don't even care who it is anymore on this team. Just get somebody in here that sees what value you have and makes smart decisions. That's all I'm asking for.
Make sure y'all hit that like button. Follow us on Twitter. All our Twitters are scrolling on the bottom. Instagram, Nets Kingdom 1. And then check out Cypher's articles, netskingdom.net. Appreciate you guys with all support. We'll be back. Tough season, man. We'll see what's the last. We're getting down to the end. So appreciate you guys again. Hit that like button for us.